absolutely thrilled to have you all with us this year. Whether you're a cybersecurity expert, a hacker, a tech enthusiast, or just here to learn and network, you're in the right place. It's time to connect, collaborate, and contribute. We have an incredible lineup of speakers, panels, and villages over the next 2 days. So I would suggest make the most of it. And of course, none of this would have been possible without the amazing support of our sponsors, volunteers, and the entire Coupon team. Let's give them a huge round of applause for all the hard work that has gone into making this event happen. So to kick things off, it's my pleasure to welcome Mr. Sunil Varkey to the stage. Mr. Varkey is a distinguished leader and a veteran in the field of cybersecurity. We're thrilled to have him here with us to open the conference.
Good morning all. It's an honor and privilege to welcome you to the 17th edition of Cocoon, which is the Cocoon 2024. In 2008, Cocoon was started in Kochi with 50 law enforcement officers with a primary intent for training on cyber investigation. That's how we started. The participation and support from all of you made this to become a much broader platform with over 2,000 people from 26 countries participating and collaborating, sharing their knowledge, wisdom to all of us to make the better support for us. It is now India's longest running cybersecurity conference, and we are taking a lot of guidance, learnings to the industry across from each one of you members. In our turbulent, dynamic world, staying one step ahead is not just a strategy, it is the necessity to survive. With cyber threats growing in sophistication, muscle, and frequency, we are challenged to adapt, evolve, or even many times unlearn what we have learned and what something we need to come out of this. There was a time we had to worry only about malware. And there was an antivirus which comes once in a month or once in a quarter. We updated everything was okay. It was like our local hometown doctor. We had a brown syrup with him. Any disease we go there, that brown syrup all the problems. And life was much easy. We do 5 changes at night, a DNS change at sometimes, and that was security for everybody. Then we started building perimeters and layers of security based on the threat and risk changing. And with the confidence we had from the perimeters we built, we started exposing our applications to the public, to the internet. Then things started changing slowly or fast. Agile method got adopted everywhere. And we had the cloud services, microservices, containers, serverless computers. Everything started coming in a very fast pace. And the traditional way we looked at security was no longer working for anybody. And the change management went so fast. Earlier, an application used to come to the pipeline maybe once in a year. And now with the agile model, we started seeing at least 4 or 5 times each application come back for a feature updates or a bug fixing, where security team had to intervene every time to test it out. We need to have new way of designing the architecture. And this created a lot of pressure in every security guy. And many times, many security guys who don't understand application security kept their eyes closed. And they bypassed a lot of things. And that's where we started seeing the shadow of the building world. The shadow IT, shadow cloud, shadow BYOD, shadow data, and everything shadow BT. And then this security suddenly also considered a huge risk. And it took a long time and effort for us to clean that up. And this is the time we also went ahead and said that we all as a community share a lot of commonalities. Because we all have the same adversarial threats. We are all facing the same vendor issues. We are all facing the change management issues. And we want to collaborate. That was an eagerness from every member of the community to say, we need to collaborate better. And I think that's the time the security conference has also started becoming very prominent. Because this was the avenues where we could come together. And compared to many other industries we look at, we don't compete with each other. Because I think maybe because we are all common, or we are all under the same threat. And that is why we all try to come together, talk, hug each other and say, or cry on their shoulders saying that how do you manage it, there is also we can come. That is the difference of this economy. With COVID, so earlier we had this conference in our period, we done fantastically well and we were very confident and tried showcasing our strength, and then the COVID came. Everything changed. The so-called strong perimeter completely vanished or blurred. And the users were completely disturbed or distracted from the core because they had the code to handle, they had the work from home, concept came into the picture. Advisory is launched a series of social engineering attacks in this period. We could see a lot of data getting released, the IDs getting available for anybody to compromise, things were getting into a very, very rampant situation. Our applications, if you look at the last 20 years, we are talking about application security. We still have the same top 10 OS vulnerabilities in each of the applications. Only the orders change, that 10 number went down. Which means fundamentally we are still creating backwards. And we have still the misconfigurations happening in our environment. That is where if you look at S3 bucket leakage are the highest. And S3 by de facto is not open. For testing purpose, for change management, we kept it open and the data started leaking out. And that is where we as a community, as a defenders, we started facing a lot of problems because we try to fix something, the other root causes are still prevailing on that. And during this time, if you look at attacks, mainly ransomware, financial fraud, the data leaks became extremely prominent. And in IT hype cycle, if you look at, all the hype cycle goes to a particular peak and it will settle down and come down. But if you look at security, for the last 2.5 decades, the hype cycle never came down. We are still going up. This is the only industry, if you look at, hype cycle is going that far now. So, salaries are going high, cost of doing this early, production is going high, everything is going, new technologies are coming out. You see a lot of startups in cybersecurity coming out. That is an indication that nobody is getting it right. Because otherwise, no hype cycle will continue to go up like this without a turning point. We are in a situation right now, the advisories are highly motivated. Privacy is of a great concern. The involvement of national states cannot be ignored for us. Cyber is getting more physical with OT attacks coming into the picture. And then now the new world, AI and Gen AI coming into the picture. They are revolutionizing or disrupting the technology of the world in a totally different manner. And cybersecurity guys have no clue what is happening in this space. I'm not generalizing it, the majority of the people have no clue. And in the last 2 months, I'm spending a considerable time reading what is Gen AI and AI. Because that is the new world. I've been in the industry for 28 years. It's a new thought. For us, what is happening is all the new things which came in, we had to do a lot of unlearning and study something new. So that is where our egos completely go off. Because we suddenly, at one point we felt we are expert, and next point we felt we know nothing, and we had to start again. And this type of groups or collaborations help us a lot on that. As a community, we have a lot of internal challenges. Most of the organizations are currently running with 40 plus internal security tools which work in complete isolation. Think about with the limited resources, 40 different consoles to run. So which means at the end of the day, we have for the namesake, we have a technology or a tool, nothing happens there. Partially deployed. Vendors are getting more and more consolidated. And vendors are literally looking back to the customers and saying, I don't care, I go consolidated. If you pay this much, you get it, otherwise just walk out. We have seen many companies doing that. Regulations are getting extremely strong. Misinformations are driving narratives. We have recently seen a major attack where things go to a totally different spin because of social media narratives being created based on that. And that is the world we are facing. We never know one person from somewhere just write something and there are 1,000 people to take up and forward it out. Things can be a totally different narrative. Cost of delivering this security is becoming extremely high. And there are companies currently even running at 12% of the IT cost was just for protection. Typically, IT cost is for new innovations, new technologies, upgrades, keeping the lights on. And now the protection or defense team is coming back and saying, give me 12% of your budget just to make sure that you're secure. And this is not sustainable. We need a new approach to sustain. And that is what this type of conferences are going to help us with. Zero trust, security and mesh architecture, attack surface management, security of control officer orchestration, DevSecOps, are on great discussions topics currently. But how much of that implementation is happening? Because we not. Because we are still struggling to talk to our management and say, give us more budget and let me try something new. This time it will work. This conference is more than just a series of presentations. It's a gathering of great minds together to collaborate and work together to reimagine cybersecurity to accomplish a resilient cyber world. At the core, cybersecurity is about trust and collaboration. We are all in this together to defend effectively. Engage openly, ask questions, share your insight. Each of us hold pieces of a puzzle, and together we have the biggest picture. Thank you for being here and your unwavering dedication in securing the cyber world. Let us make this conference one to remember, one to inspire, strengthen, and set us a path towards a brighter, secured one in the future. Together, let us make the safe and secure cyber world. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sunil, for that insightful opening note. I now request the presence